Hold on. Is he saying you get paid to get fired? Is that what I'm actually hearing here? We are going to be checking out this video right here by David Wen, and it's called Getting Laid Off, Fired, USA versus the Netherlands. So this is a priority request from Kaylin, so shout out to you. Links down below for the original video and priority request link if you want to make one yourself. So getting fired or laid off, USA versus Netherlands. I don't know how they do it in the Netherlands. From what I understand, there's like a whole contract and stuff over there. The United States, they basically can just fire you for whatever they want. I mean, honestly, they can. They don't have to have a clear reason. They can literally just say that your services are no longer needed and just say that you're laid off until further notice, and then they just will never call you back, and that's how you realize you're basically just been fired. Soft fired, I guess you would call it, you know. But yeah, that's about it. I don't know how they do it in the Netherlands, but we're going to find out.
Just as I celebrated my 5 years in the Netherlands, I lost my job.
You're fired. You're fired.
But hold up, Trump. It ain't so easy to just get laid off here. Because in the US, one day you're here and the next day you're...
Yeah.
Lay off.
Pretty much. Pretty much, like I was saying, like, you know, they don't even have to give you a reason. You're just out of there.
Layoffs happen.
The layoffs are already piling up.
An Amazon spokesperson did confirm those layoffs. Spotify is slashing 1,500 jobs.
But it's a lot harder to get fired or laid off in the Netherlands as compared to the US. I actually found the process kinda fascinating because there's a social safety net to catch you when you fall. So in this video, let me share with you how layoffs work in the Netherlands compared to the US, including the layoff process, severance packages, what about healthcare, unemployment benefits, and I'll also include tips about the layoff process as well as visa implications for foreigners. The following contains layoff stories from people in the Netherlands. It may also cause one to leave, pack your bags, and move to the Netherlands. Viewer
That part's awesome.
discretion is advised. Now let's get laid off in the Netherlands. So I have this random one-on-one that was just put on my calendar, which is kind of strange. So I think something's gonna happen. As soon as I walk in,
What's a random 101? I don't know what that means. Can anybody let me know?
HR. David. And then I knew. It's not you. I'm in shock, but I know I have rights in this country. I'm not gonna sign this document right away. So I take my agreement and leave. So I've survived a few layoffs in the US. And because employment is at will, anyone can get let go at any time for any...
I don't get the part with the documents. Signing the documents, not... What is that about? Do you have to sign documents? Like, I don't remember ever having to sign documents. Usually they just like... I mean, really though, I guess I never really got fired too much. Most of the time I just quit because I just didn't want to work there anymore. Huh.
Any reason. And many do have to pack and leave right away because the company wants to prevent employees from potentially sabotaging the company. Some get severance, many don't. But in the...
Yeah, so that's the thing. Yeah, people will get escorted out, I've heard, like, and you see it in movies too, of office buildings, you know, when they get fired or laid off, they'll escort them out. And like, because I guess they could be so mad that they damage stuff or like try to burn the place on fire, burn the place down on their way out kind of thing.
Some get severance, many don't. But in the Netherlands, you just can't get let go without a valid reason because the law is strict, especially if one has a permanent contract. The company needs a lot of evidence to prove to the government agency that they have a valid reason to lay this person off. So often, they'll offer a settlement agreement. So several people told me, David, never sign the first agreement. It's a negotiation. I know of people who didn't know their rights and they were scared, so they signed the agreement right away. If they had waited, they would have gotten more. And don't be...
That's what he was talking about with the signing. Okay, so he was representing the Netherlands in that specific time when I thought he was talking about America. That makes sense. That would explain why I have no clue what he was talking about.
Be too scared about that deadline. It's mainly for them. And you actually get 2 extensions, 2 weeks each. So give them a call. And if there's a mass layoff, get together with a group of people so you can help and support each other. A friend who went through a mass layoff with her company told me that they created this WhatsApp group called Do Not Sign, and they helped and supported each other through the process. But let me tell you what one can expect. Generally, you'll get a settlement agreement or severance package that includes the following. At a minimum, you'll get what's called a transition payment, which is 1/3 of your gross salary for every year that you worked. For example, if you worked 5 years and your monthly gross salary is 6,000 euros, then you would get 10,000 euros. And often the company will pay you a lump sum or a settlement payment so that you will mutually agree to leave. But a rule of thumb is that it should be at least 2 months because that's the amount of time to go through the UWV process. You can also negotiate.
Hold on. Is he saying you get paid to get fired? Is that what I'm actually hearing here? You get paid to get fired? What? And am I getting that? Somehow I feel like I'm wrong on that. Like I'm missing something here. But at the same time, as many videos as I've seen and as much shocking stuff that I've seen, it's probably legit. So I don't know, right? Like, wow.
Negotiate for garden leave, which means you extend your last day so that you can stay on the payroll longer. And when you're on garden leave, usually you don't have to work once you sign. Another thing is that you have a notice period, which must be at least 1 full month. Your notice period is based on how many years you've been working. For example, the notice period is 1 month if you've worked less than 5 years, and it goes up to a max of 4 months. So if you get laid off on February 10th, the notice period starts at the beginning of March. So your last day will be March 31st. This means you'll still get paid for at least another month as well. So your total settlement package includes this transition payment, plus your lump sum settlement payment, plus any garden leave or anything extra that's included in your company's contract. So all in all, what do people generally get from a settlement agreement?
So that would help partially explain why there's less homeless in the Netherlands, in Europe in general. If Europe is also, I don't know if all of Europe has a situation like this or if it's just the Netherlands, but whereas America, they can just fire you for anything, no notice at any point in time, and you have no choice but just you're done. And then then you're just, you don't have any money to pay your bills and everything and this and that, and it kind of helps lead to the homeless population. Whereas you get paid to get laid off in the Netherlands, how are you going to be homeless? You're still getting paid until you get the next job. They're going to pay you, right? So you don't have a gap in income. So there's way less of a chance that you're going to end up in that situation. That's insane.
Let me share a few examples of friends. Jim was let go due to performance. He and his lawyer didn't think the company performed all the right steps, but Jim wanted to leave and they negotiated for a better package than was offered. Ann's position was eliminated because...
So he wanted to leave. So even if you leave yourself, is that what they're saying? So
didn't think the company performed all the right steps, but Jim wanted to leave and they negotiated for a better package than was offered.
So you can just say, hey, I don't like this place. They're not offering what I want them to offer. I want to go somewhere else. And they have to pay you to do that? That doesn't even seem real, honestly. But like, again, I've seen so many of these videos where it's like, it probably is real. It's just shocking because that's way different than what we do here in America. And like, I'm not used to anything like that. That's insane.
Ann's position was eliminated because her visa was sponsored by her company. She wanted more garden leave, and with the help of her lawyer, she was able to negotiate more garden leave by giving up her severance pay. Bob was laid off because his former company wasn't doing well financially. He initially only got the minimum, but through his lawyer, they were able to negotiate a better deal. Now,
Yeah, so there's different situations, different deals. You get garden leave, you get whatever, severance pay, maybe you don't, whatever. But the gist, can't even talk. The gist of it is you get paid to not work there no more. That doesn't even make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense.
Now, I also know of people who went through the UWV route and won. They were able to stay employed for another year. Now, in the US, there is no federal or state law that mandates severance pay. It depends on the employer. Now, I know of friends who got some nice severance packages from these big tech companies, but they are the minority. I know many more people who got nothing.
Yeah, most of the time you're not getting severance unless you're in one of those kind of high profile jobs. For the average person, you know, you're not getting nothing. Most people just work at a gas station, a grocery store, a laundromat, a factory, whatever. You know, just examples, I don't know, but you know, factories, construction, stuff like that, and you're not getting no severance pay. Maybe if you've been there 20 years, you know, you might, but it's really, I feel like it's limited to certain specific industries and whatnot.
And find a good lawyer to negotiate for you. Often companies will pay some of the lawyer fees, or the lawyer would negotiate the company to pay for your fees. David, this is a game. It's us versus them. But don't worry, I got your back. So you then send your lawyer all the legal documents, you talk about what you want, and then...
We are prepared to make you a very generous offer.
And we are prepared to reject that offer. What is your second offer?
And typically there are two paths. You mutually settle to an agreement, or the process goes to the UWV, the Dutch Employment Agency. If the case goes to the UWV, the process can take up to 2 months. Now, what's a valid reason? Well, if the company's broke, that's easy. But if the company wants to restructure, they must follow guidelines like the reflection principle, last in, first out. The last one who enters is the first one to let go based on similar positions by age groups. The company must also prove that they've tried to reassign you to a different role in the company. I also have friends who got laid off due to underperformance. Now, the company must do everything that they can do to try to get you back on track. Performance improvement plan, training, mentoring, coaching. I have one friend who got let go due to underperformance, but
In America, underperformance, they warn you 2-3 times. Sometimes they might be like, okay, well, you got till the end of the week. If your production doesn't go up or your performance doesn't go up, then then we're not going to need you. And that's basically it. They don't try to teach you or help you increase performance. They just tell you to do it. If not, you don't have a job. And generally speaking, you end up not having a job in that situation. Not me, because I was a good worker, but I've seen people struggle with certain factory jobs and get fired because of it.
she was never offered this performance improvement plan. The company didn't follow the rules, so the lawyer called them out. And she was able to negotiate an even bigger severance package. And if the company does even bigger layoffs, there's an even more complicated process that involves the works council, trade unions. Now, I have one friend from HR who told me at her company, when employees learn about a potential mass layoff, half of them decided to call in sick, mental health reasons.
And did you hear about the Spotify case? Well, they
Sick employees are protected by Dutch law. Hard to be fired. Nice.
Decided to call in sick, mental health reasons.
And did you hear about the Spotify case?
Spotify wanted to lay off 11% of staff in the Netherlands, but didn't follow the process required by local law and was ordered to undo layoffs. The Works Council that was formed the spring of 2023, and this office is to thanks for this outcome.
Well, they tried to lay off 11% of its staff in the Netherlands, but they didn't follow the rules, so they were forced to reverse the layoffs.
Now, each person's case is different, and you also have to consider the emotional toll. So, what's next? What about my healthcare? So, as an American, this was a big concern for me, because in the US,
it's always circling back to the healthcare anytime. Right? I mean, that's just how it seems.
US, healthcare is tied to your job, your employer. And once you lose your job, you lose your healthcare, and healthcare is really expensive. Now in the US, when you lose your job, you can stay on your company's health insurance, but it's really expensive.
Like around $700 per month for a single person and almost $2,000 for a family. In the
That's why we don't do healthcare around here. I mean, people do, but poor people don't.
Netherlands, most companies provide healthcare, but you have to pay the premium, but it's affordable. So if you get laid off, you just continue paying the premium, which is around 135 euros per month for a single person. Or if you're a family of
Not too
4
bad.
with 2 kids under 18, it would be around 300 euros because healthcare is free for kids under 18.
And if you get laid
It's free, huh? Wow.
off and it's not your fault, you can get unemployment benefits from the Netherlands.
You get 1
Yeah, I mean, you can get unemployment here too, but they always try to screw you around. And it's hard to get, and you know, and it's a whole thing. So, one month per year worked. So minimum 3 months, maximum 38 months. So basically, as long as you worked a month, you can get a minimum of 3 months unemployment, right? Or maximum of 38 months. 75% of your monthly salary. All right.
month of unemployment pay for every year that you worked. For the first 2 months, you get around
Oh, a month per year worked. Okay, I read that wrong. Sorry.
75% of your monthly wage with a max of around 4,500 euros. And then it's 70% each month thereafter. And you can also get money from the Dutch government to pay for training if it can help you find a job.
In the US, unemployment varies state by state.
In
Yeah, it definitely does.
California, you get $160 to $1,800 per month. In Texas, you'll get around $300 to $2,300 per month. But if you
Okay.
live in San Francisco, where rent is like $3,000 per month, good luck living on unemployment.
Yeah, that's why there's so many homeless.
So all in all, in the Netherlands, your years of work experience give you more unemployment benefits. And in the US, what you get depends on which state you're in.
Oh yeah, what about my visa situation? Luckily for Americans, we have a special freelancer visa that allows us to work in the country. But for many foreigners, this is a big one. Because you get 90 days after your last day on the job to find a new job to sponsor you. That's why many foreigners will decide to negotiate for more garden leave, more time so that they have more time to look for a new job.
In the US,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And since you can actually negotiate over there, like, that's cool. That's cool. So Time says a failed and broken system. Tech layoffs set the clock ticking for foreign workers.
if you lose your job as a foreigner, you have 60 days to find a new visa sponsor. You don't get unemployment nor federally funded healthcare. You also can't freelance or work part-time. Good luck, Stephanie.
But if you're an illegal migrant right now, you'll get all of those things. And a debit card loaded up with money. And a free bus ride to anywhere in the country, to any capital city or any sanctuary city. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to get into it. Actually, I mentioned it. I shouldn't have.
So to recap, getting laid off sucks, but it helps to know that there's time, that you won't get kicked out right away, to not have to worry about healthcare, to get unemployment benefits, to feel protected by the law. But I'm grateful to know that there's a safety net to catch me if I do fall. Well, thanks
That's
for
nice.
watching, and I'm curious, what have your experiences been being laid off in the Netherlands, the US, anywhere else? Please leave them in the comments below so we can learn from each other.
Yeah, so I have one. I was working in a trailer factory, right? We were making FEMA units for like right after Hurricane Katrina happened, and they were making we were making the FEMA units, which is basically RVs, right? And I was setting roofs, is what it was called. So there's two people, me and my partner, and we would basically take a roof and drop it on, and then we would screw our sides down. So I'd screw my side down, he'd screw his side down. After I screw my side down, I'd have to put these hurricane straps, they're called. They're just a little metal flap thing. and you screw that up and over the thing, right? And then when you're done with that, one person goes and builds trusses, the other person goes inside and attaches the walls to the ceiling. Well, my partner was sick, or his son was sick, so he was gone, you know, and there was this Mexican person that didn't speak English working with me, and I was trying to explain to him how to do it visually, whatever. He was just really slow. I'd have to put my screws in, I'd have to put my straps on. He was still doing his screws. So I'd have to go over there and help, you know, finish his side up. Well, then we have the electricians, you know, they're wanting the line to move. So they're pushing us, you know, move, you know, move the line, fast-paced work. So by the time I did all that and went down inside and put the ceilings on the tops, or the walls to the ceilings, I didn't have time to go build trusses. This guy was super slow. Well, anyways, long story short, supervisor came over, you know, because I told him, I was like, well, give me somebody that speaks English, because this guy is not fast enough. I can't get him to understand what's going on. He's not understanding. He's slow, whatever. Like, give me somebody else to work with. And then that's when he told me, you know, finish the rest of the day out. Don't come back tomorrow and expect to have a job. And I was like, oh, well, why don't you jump on the line and finish out then? Because I'm done. I quit. You're not going to fire me. I quit before you have a chance to fire me. Screw you, guy. But anyways, that's my story. Give me one. And you guys have a super fun, awesome day. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.